Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Whiteboard Reactions. Come back with another reactional video. Now today, we're once again diving into the realm of World of Warcraft. Today we're reacting to patch 7.2 in-game cinematic. I found Memento, Rising a King. Now, firstly, I'd just like to give a big shout out to everyone who's recommended this video. Quite a few of you have, so really big shout out and thank you for recommending these videos. They've been very fun. We've recently done the Shore ones, Broken Shore, Alliance, and Horde. So make sure you guys go and check that out. They're pretty interesting to do. So quite excited to get into this one. I feel like this is going to be following on from that, hopefully. But if it's not, still, it's going to be fun to do. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Without further ado, let's get straight to it, shall we? Let's go.
Here. This is where his father fell.
The boy has never known the horrors of the Legion, as we have.
No. I haven't.
Anduin.
How could you
Anduin,
just
right.
leave?
I had to come here.
My boy, you don't need to see this.
Father.
Interesting.
You never surrendered. Even here, at the very end. I cannot do this, Father. I can't be the hero you were. I can't be the king you were.
Anduin, your father's actions were indeed heroic. They were his challenge to us, his people, to never let fear prevail, even at the very gates of hell.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do now?
What a king must do.
What the energy right now, man. I mean, it was a bit of a kind of like a bit of a breaker. You know, I like the fact that World of Warcraft do the breakers in between their sort of like expansion packs. I do like that idea, but this one was, Joe, what compared to the ones we've watched recently, or the ones we've watched pastly, I guess we could say, have been quite just. They've been a bit not necessarily basic, but heading towards that basic. Now, usually the graphics are like, for example, just to take Battle for Azeroth when he had the Southang in the prison cage. That was kind of a breaker, and it was quite interesting. There was a lot to talk about. But for an in-game, this was actually quite emotional. So obviously they've come back with this big purple guy. I don't know who this is, but he's come back, and obviously they're back at where the carnage happened. So I take this as quite a few years on from where it kind of when it happened. Sorry, when the king died. So obviously they were talking. And then he obviously came from behind. He said, "Why did you leave?" I don't know if he was supposed to be somewhere, if it's too dangerous for him to come here. I'm not really too sure. But you instantly gain kind of respect and a bit of honor towards this guy. And it's kind of like you can clearly see that either he might not be exactly his father, but he's going to make a great king one day. So where most, a lot of in books and films, they usually see like kings and queens and stuff as quite arrogant and quite sort of, you know, I wouldn't say pessimistic, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like they just kind of put a damp on them, where this is kind of showing that actually the king's sort of bloodline and this has actually been quite heroic and what kings should be. So I quite like that. So instantly you gain a bit of honor. He's come to face his sort of fears. One thing I love about this is this bit. I want to kind of, so when he looks to the right, look, these like sort of shades. Does he have a power? Or is this sort of like a sort of cinematic sort of trick, if that makes sense? So he's not actually seeing it, he's kind of imagining it, but because we've already supposedly seen it, do you know what I'm trying to say there? So he doesn't actually see it, he's just kind of imagining it. He might have been told it, but then he might be seeing it. So I'm really trying to say that as less confusing as I possibly can. Does he have a power to see like sort of shards of the past of what happened, or is that just sort of a cinematic cinematography sort of trick there? So obviously then they blow away with the horn, which is actually quite powerful, because then again it's that sort of retreat. And the one thing that's quite powerful for is because that's the sort of, if they actually stayed, as we said in the Horde and Alliance video, actually more the Horde one, if they stayed, what could have happened? Could all of them have died? Could he actually be alive? So it's that sort of, that's why it's quite important to put that bit in, because that kind of changed the tides of that battle. Then you move on forwards. Obviously, this part's really powerful. So you see the camera go into his face. You can see the emotion and the pain. But one thing I love is this. He looks left. And that's obviously that big robot thing that came out and he stabbed him in the head. The Anduin, I think his name was. I might be wrong. That could be this guy, actually. I'll get confused. Those the fucking kings and stuff. And again, it's that sort of memory. Now, either he has this power or it's a cinematography sort of thing. And he's really powerful. So he's going through. And then the one thing I love is this.
Father.
Bang. And he drops at the same time. This what makes me think that he has a power. Because he kind of zoned in to this sort of memory or sort of like past. And then he felt the spears because he's connected obviously his father via the bloodline, emotionally and physically. And then he dropped to the floor just like his father did. And then watch. And it kind of went to the side. Now I'm pretty sure in the other video when he got stabbed, he's in the exact same position he's in now. And it's kind of just that sort of, you know, the boy becoming the king where his father is. But not only that, he is where his father was before he died. But obviously there's no enemies with spears. There's no ghoul down there about shoving with sort of snot magic or whatever you want to call that thing. But then obviously he finds his sword, which I was actually kind of thinking, is the sword have been picked up or is it not? And obviously it hasn't yet.
You never surrendered.
It's been under the ash, and you never surrendered, which is true. And I think because he wasn't there, he kind of had to come here to find out for himself what exactly happened, which is, again, it's another nice trait to see about a king. He's not simple-minded, he's not narrow-minded, he's very open-minded, he's willing to learn and put himself in uncomfortable positions to find out for himself what the truth is. And that's when he said, oh, you never surrendered, because I think he didn't. I think he knew his father didn't surrender. But he always have that thing in the back of the head, and he didn't want him to surrender. Or maybe he thought he did surrender, and now he did it. It's like, that's quite heroic. And then he did say, how could I be, you know, the king you are, blah, 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 which we'll get to that point. So he picks up. Oh, I missed this bit. Hold on.
I can't be the hero you were.
So I can't be the hero you were. He's obviously looking at the reflection and his father there. So again, it's that sort of looking yourself in the mirror, but he's trying to become his father. I could not be the hero you are. He's seeing through his eyes his dad. But one thing he doesn't realize is he's actually looking at himself. So he actually is. The guy is very powerful. Again, for an in-game cinematography, very, very powerful.
Anduin.
So I think, obviously, he's still relatively young compared to his father. And he said, I can't be the king you were. It's a bit of that self-doubt. And again, we've just covered that sort of bit. So I just want to quickly point out.
Were indeed heroic. They were his challenge to us, his people, to never let fear prevail, even at the very gates of hell.
Okay, not much to really speak about there, but one thing is really, really great is this bit. bang. And again, is there like a, I take it there's a heaven and hell equivalent in the World of Warcraft, maybe not exactly how we see it on Earth with, you know, like Christianity and other sort of religions. Maybe it's a bit different there, and the fell is hell, and then, I don't know, whatever the heavenly stuff is. So is he actually doing this? Is this like a vision? Or has he been summoned by his father? Like, what is this sort of place? I'm quite intrigued by this, actually. And then it kind of like zooms out to the side, and again, it's like his father and son, look, they're standing virtually the exact same height. His dad's obviously a little bit taller, of course. He's a bit older. Maybe not actually. I don't know. Maybe they are the same age. And like now, of course, not obviously when they were alive. It's just quite a powerful scene with all the gold and white. Again, it resembles that sort of peace and kingdom. He's gone to heaven because of heroic actions.
What am I supposed to do now?
What a king must do.
He just reminds me of Garen out of like freaking League of Legends, man. He reminds me of Garen. He's got the armor, he's just got that face for it as well. So he puts his hand on obviously him, and he's just basically saying what a king must do. It's kind of that sort of belief, isn't it? He's like, I believe in you. You don't have to like doubt yourself. That's the problem. He has self-doubt. And I think now, obviously the music's playing, it's getting suspenseful. It's getting like, well, not suspenseful, it's getting energy. It's getting pumped. And now the sword's lit back up. And I think that's because when he first picked it up, it wasn't lit. It was kind of still dead. And I think now, because he's found his self-confidence, and I think he believes that he can do the king, and obviously the sword is ignited, and it kind of ends off with his serious face, like his father. So I quite liked it. I like the fact there's a lot of emotionalness to the sort of break. And again, it's not amazing graphics, not amazing cinematography. Sorry, not amazing cinematography. Not amazing graphics and sort of high definition sort of quality, which it doesn't really make a difference, but it also does. You know what I mean? It adds that sort of effects because it looks real. But I tell you what, for a cartoony style of cinematic, it is not bad. There's a lot of emotional meaning to it where he's walking through. He's kind of walking in his father's steps. It's very, very powerful, and I really actually enjoyed it. I thought it was just going to be another sort of like, it was going to be all right. There was a few things to talk about, which the Sarfang in the prison one was pretty good. There was a lot to talk about, but comparing it to this is actually pretty decent. So yeah, really hats off to the developers on that one. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, guys, if you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and again, comment down below if you agree or disagree, if you want to add anything to it, if you, if you just want to add anything you want, express your opinion. That's what the comments is there for, guys, for you to express your opinion freely, regardless of what side you're on. That's the whole point of it. That's what we pride ourselves at White Boy Reactions here. But again, big shout out to everyone who recommended this video. And every video you guys recommended, which ones we've done, have been absolutely fantastic. So I know to trust you guys, always have. It's just great. The community is absolutely amazing that we've got here. We're going to be back probably doing some more World of Warcraft and Warhammer, as I said in the previous videos. There might be some more League stuff as well. So it seems like videos are starting to come out now, which is great. This is what we want. So yeah, that's it for me today. This is White Boy Reaction. Sign off this video, guys. Until next one, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later. Peace out. Take care, guys.